Hello and welcome to Up the Villa podcast and welcome back to Transfer Hub. The transfer rumours have gone slow. There's tumbleweed going across the screen. It's all very quiet on a Villa front. But in other news, manager Steven Gerrard has already told some key players that the aim for this season is to finish inside the top 7. Pretty interesting stuff. I love to hear, how positive we are on this podcast. So it's absolute music to our ears that Gerrard is aiming for a top 7, top 6, however you want to put it. But that's the aim. That's what we're trying to get to. We all know the project. I don't need to come on here and tell you anything about the project, what we're on, because we should all know it by now. But if you are new to the channel, subscribe, drop this video a like, and get involved in the comments section down below. So welcome, Justin. Your thoughts on this?
I think it's great. I think if that's what he's told them, it's not surprising because I think we all sort of know that that's where we're aiming for this season. I don't think he'll actually physically come out, and maybe he will come out and actually say it to the public because it puts a sort of around your neck, doesn't it, to sort of start predicting positions. But I think given the what we've done over the last few years, especially signings wise, that has to be where the aim is next season, doesn't it? I know we're going to do a season preview one, but it's got to be top 7, aiming for top 7. I think, if you just miss it, 8th or 9th, but you're within touching distance points wise, I think that's okay as well. As long as we're in that ballpark most of the season, I think most of us would be really happy. So yeah, top 7 would be magnificent, I think. And, some kind of European return to Villa Park next season. We all love a European night. It's been a long time since we've had a few of them. So, it'd be nice to get them back down there. But yeah, I think it's a good and obvious move, really, I think.
If I'm being totally honest, which I try to be all of the time on this podcast, at this moment in time, with the squad we currently have, I don't think we are top 7 material at this moment in time. I think 1 or 2 signings coming in could definitely propel us in and around that top 7 ball mark, where that is coming from. I just think at the minute, I think we're just a little bit short on quality in an 8. That's all I'm thinking. And I think it's great that the squad's mindset is definitely focused on a top half finish. I think at the minute, if you had to tell me where I think we'd finish, I'd say 9th or 10th. That is where I think at the minute. And why I would say that is, do I feel like the squad has got better from last season? 110%. I think Carlos coming in, Kamara coming in, the left back coming in, if Luca Dean's injured, I think has made me a lot more calmer if we've got certain players injured. I think the midfield already looks better. I think we underperformed last season. So I think you've got to take the position where we finished last season, for me, out of the equation, because I think we were better than that. So I just think to get to that top bracket, I think is going to be a little bit difficult at the minute, right? But what I want to show you now, so I'm going to share the screen with you, and I'm going to show you the 7th place points tally of the last 3 seasons of what we've got to try and get to. And I'll let you chip in here then, Justin. So we'll start off with last season then. So last season, West Ham got top 7 with 56 points. And at the minute, last season, we finished on 45. So you're saying 11 points difference between where we finished to 7th place. So what would you say about that, Justin?
I think given the points that we sort of hemorrhaged last season in silly games, that was achievable, wasn't it? That's definitely achievable. It could have been achievable last season, barring, we had 2 pretty awful runs as well, didn't we, last season, where we couldn't barely buy a point. So I think if we improve slightly more than last season, top half is going to be a definite, I think. So then jumping from top half, so Wolves finished 10th last season. It's not a massive jump then. It's 2 wins, isn't it, to 7th? And I think off the top of my head, I think that's more or less ballpark where it's been over the last few years as well. So it's not like you suddenly got to get to 70 points to get to 7th. No. That's just not going to happen. So I'd be interested to see what the year before was.
Yeah. So basically, what I was saying about take the league position out of the equation is, barring those terrible runs we had last season, we weren't far off a top 10 finish, were we really? Considering
that's what I mean.
Games we lost, 19 games we lost last season.
Yeah.
And we got 45 points. We're only 6 points off 9th. So, that's what I'm trying to say. So if we go to the 2021 season, top 7, again, got you 62 points. And if you look at the teams that were in it, what I would say as well is I always feel like there's one surprise team as well in the top sort of 6 or 7. Would you say so, Justin?
Yeah, there's always a team that comes out of the pack. West Ham did it, didn't they? Obviously that season. I think Brighton, although they didn't hit the top 7 last season, they finished in the top 10, which was probably a bit surprising to a lot of people. So I think, we're stronger than Brighton, definitely. So I think with the recruitment that we've had as well, I definitely think it's on. It is definitely on next season for me, 100%.
And this was 19-20 season when Wolves got top 7 on 59 points. So 59 got you 6 points, 6th place in the 19-20 season as well. So I think we're in a pack, aren't we? I think we're definitely going to be in a pack. I think the pack would probably be.
You look at where what did we finish on? 45 points on that last season. I think points wise, let's not talk about positions. Points wise, I think he'll be aiming at around 60 points next season. I think that's got to be the target. Now, if we finish on 60 points and finish 8th, then I'm not bothered. I think that's a good improvement. And like we were saying, 19 losses, them 2 really bad runs. 15 points isn't that, it is because it's a decent jump, but it's not a million miles away. It's 5 wins and turning a few draws into wins. But squad wise, you know what? I think even if we didn't add anyone else, I think we'd improve on last season because
me too.
Luca Dean's going to improve. Coutinho's going to be better for a pre-season. I think Leon Bailey's going to be better for a pre-season and having a full season in the Premier League as well behind him. I think Danny Ings is going to be improved on last season. I think Ollie Watkins is going to improve on last season. I think even the likes of Emi Martinez, he probably wasn't quite as good as he was the season before either. So I think, there's a little bit of room for him to get back to his best form, although he was still very good last season. Mings and Concert didn't have their best seasons last year. They can improve. Matty Cash is the only one really that massively improved last season. So if he can continue that upward trajectory as well, I think the likes of JJ is going to improve as well because at his age he's just going to improve all the time, and adding the quality additions that we have should help improve the squad and the team as well. So if we were to add 1 or 2, I know there was murmurings on the last one we did the other day, I was saying I don't see us signing a big money striker, but I've heard a few murmurings the last 48 hours that still could be on the cards this season. So if we was to add a real top class 8 and a real top class centre forward, then I think it's definitely on. I mean, to get 7th with the current squad, you're basically relying on Watkins or Ings to hit a purple patch next season and get 20 goals, I think. But if we bypass them and signed a £50 million striker, then it's definitely on then.
Yeah, it's all bubbling up. Do you know what I love about this, Justin? It's the excitement before a season starts, isn't it? It's like
it's great.
This is the point
it's the hope that kills you, Luke. It's the hope that kills you.
Where you can dream, you can say whatever you want until that first ball's been kicked.
Yeah, like last season when we went to Watford.
So what we'll do, we are Villa's dream, aren't we? We build the anticipation, don't we?
And then the season starts. And everyone gets annoyed.
That first match reaction away to Bournemouth. Check out our moodies then.
I think we'll be all right. I am buzzing for it. I think we've seen, this statement today, back to where we started, if that is the case, then it's just music to our ears. The manager's got high, aspirations and high standards, and he's not come to Villa. He didn't come to Villa to finish mid-table and lower. He just didn't. He come to Villa to turn us into a force, and he wouldn't have signed unless the owners had given him the backing financially and moral, to him to do that. So we're on a pathway now, I think, to success. Now that might not be next season. We might finish 8th or 9th and just miss out on Europe next year. But I think that's, like I said, points wise, if we're in and around 60 points and we miss out on Europe, then that's a big improvement, and that's good enough for me. And then the season after would be the big one where we hit that top 7 100%.
Definitely. Good stuff. So we'll leave it there. We will be back, me and Justin, tomorrow. Justin is not at work, so he's got the luxury of watching Aston Villa against Brisbane. I am at work, so I'll just do the hosting on the episode, and I'll let Justin do all the talking tomorrow. Hopefully I can catch the highlights and stuff as well. So just thought I'd just bring you a little bit of content in the meantime. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.